Hello, Jessica Urbrix here, back for another video, and this is kind of a special video. I have done one other video like this before, and that was the LEGO movie Inside the Essential Guide, but this time we're going to take a look into the special TV guide LEGO Simpsons issue, which actually just came out. It didn't even come out yet because it says, where is it? It says that it comes out April 21st or whatever, so that's in a few days, I believe Monday, and we're just going to be taking a look at this magazine and what's inside it for the LEGO The Simpsons stuff, not any of the other TV guide stuff or whatever. And I'm going to express my thoughts on the pictures that are in here and basically the content and stuff like that and what they say in here. I know these pictures have been surfacing online for a little while, but I wanted to wait until I get the physical copy of this magazine to take a look at them and express my thoughts. And you could actually find the HD pictures of this by following the links in the description. But without further ado, let's take a look inside. So I have the page marked, and it's not this page, there's actually a really interesting little thing on all the TV Guide magazines that have The Simpsons on the cover, which is actually really, really cool, but where is it? I had it marked down. And here it is. This is basically kind of the covering of the LEGO The Simpsons episode, which is Brick Like Me, and it's the 550th episode, and it's going to air on May 4th. And I'm going to zoom into it right now. So as you can see, there are some kind of pictures in here. Like I said, they're all online already, but I just want to get the physical copy of the LEGO The Simpsons episode. And we are just getting pictures of this because it's really shocking that they're not using the molded heads. And a lot of people thought they were going to use the molded heads because that's how the official LEGO Simpsons products are. And you guys know I love the official LEGO The Simpsons products. But for some reason, they're using kind of molded head or hair pieces with regular, circular heads that you'd find in most LEGO minifigures. And the choice to make that, I guess, was made out of the idea that this was kind of the production for this episode started around 2 years ago, and the production for the sets and the minifigures that are the official ones started about, I think it was around 6 to 12 months ago. So this episode was made way ahead, and it required much, I guess you say, longer time to animate, so maybe they decided to do molded heads a little bit more down the road. And another idea that you have to keep in mind why they probably didn't do molded heads in this episode is that and that's not even a good picture to show. You can see right here kind of the molded head, or the heads that are going to appear in the episode with Nelson, Skinner, and Bart. But another thing that you have to keep in mind for the idea of just using kind of regular LEGO minifigure heads is that it probably kept the cost of making this episode much down than compared to making the episode with kind of a molded head pieces and stuff like that, because molded head pieces will require a lot of animation. Because if you see, for example, I have Marge lying around here, her mouth is kind of like that, so they'd have to make it open and close, which will take a lot more work than just kind of changing the expression on there with their smiles or whatever, because really it's just kind of a printing, which is all right, because if you put it's hard to explain, but it's just easier to do it if it's just kind of that circular head, because it's very simpler to animate just kind of a flat 2D mouth than a 3D mouth that opens and closes and talks and whatever. So with that kept in mind, do I like the look of these minifigures or whatever? No, I don't really like the look. Unfortunately, I think the molded heads really, really look great, and I know a lot of people were kind of against them when they first came out, but now people are warming up to them, especially with the look in the collectible minifigure series. But with a look on these right here, the printed heads, they look a little bit 2D, and I guess you could say really kind of weird, because LEGO minifigures usually don't have noses, and when they do have noses, they look really weird. Like the Time Cruisers kid, I forgot his name, he had a nose and it was just kind of in the middle right there, and it looked weird. The Native Americans from the Wild Western line from the 90s, mid-90s, they had noses, and that made them look a little bit weird. And just, I don't know, I don't think noses work on LEGO minifigures, because it just kind of adds extra detail than what we're used to. We're not used to having the nose right there, so of course it's going to look weird. I bet if we did have noses from the beginning on LEGO minifigures, maybe it wouldn't look as weird to us. And also, there are some extra pictures that aren't in the TV Guide magazine that I'm going to touch on later, but I just wanted to cover, that's one of the pictures. Shows Bart, Nelson, and Principal Skinner, and you could just compare the Nelson official minifigure to the Nelson right there, and you can see they are very different. The official Nelson minifigure, of course, like I was saying, does have that molded head, which I think looks really good. And the actual Nelson minifigure in the episode has kind of a much more detailed shirt, because his shirt in the episode has these little ridges right here like it's found in the show. And you can see right there in the episode they have the ridges, but that is not found on the official minifigure. But other than that, they do look quite, I guess you could say, the same, because, you know, they have basically the same pants, and besides the little ridges on the shirt, they're essentially the same. So that's kind of interesting. And then for Bart, which you can see Bart right there, of course, he's really kind of only different because the official minifigure has the molded head, and then the one in this kind of episode has just kind of a flat face with a new hair piece. So that's just kind of interesting. And so that was one of the pictures. There's this picture right here of Marge and Homer, and you could, of course, compare them to the official minifigures. I have this one right here, which is not a good one because that one doesn't have the pants on. Let's see. Here's the official one. And then here is the official Homer. So you can see, just compared, the one in the episode for Marge kind of has a different outfit, very, very minusculely different, but it looks like the one in the episode kind of has this black outlines on the actual dress, which I think actually looks a little bit better than the official minifigure. You just have to look really closely for that one. And other than that, they're essentially the same, with kind of the same little blouses. But this one doesn't have, the official minifigure doesn't have the little printed, I guess you'd say, high heels that this one has, which is kind of a shame. And it does have, like I said, the 2D face, or the regular minifigure face, with this new molded hairpiece. So I would have to say, besides the head piece and the hair piece, the one in the episode actually looks a little bit better than the one that we get in real. And for Homer, they're essentially the same. They have kind of the same torsos. It looks like they're like the exact same torsos, same pants, and same little what is it called, sleeves right there. So that's it for Marge and Homer, and that's one of the pictures. And basically the content of this, all the little, like the text and everything, what they're saying is just kind of how they came along with this episode and such. And it's actually a really interesting read, because I found out that this episode was in the works or the LEGO and the Simpsons partnership was in the works for at least several years, because LEGO actually approached the people behind the Simpsons and Fox first, because they wanted to make a set on the house, which we did eventually get this year. And that was kind of interesting, because I thought it was something that Fox would approach first on LEGO or whatever. So that's actually really cool. I do like that. And there's this picture right here, which is just, the regular kind of Simpsons animation, not the CGI that they're using for the episode, which is interesting, because I guess you could say that this is maybe the end of the episode where Homer wakes up from his dream, because this is supposedly all of a dream. They don't really say much about that. And where is it? Right here. They have a picture of basically the whole family besides Maggie. As you can see right there, there's Homer, and he has his work uniform, which is basically the same that's found in the house set, which I have right here. So you can see they basically have the same torso, which is really cool looking. And you can see a look at Lisa, who does look much different from her minifigure counterpart, the official one that we're getting, just because of the molded hair and then this separate printed face. And of course, like I said, the official Lisa looks much better, because I just don't like how they have these printed 2D faces in the episode. But apart from all that, that's really what's in this little magazine. It's a nice magazine. It's a nice issue of TV Guide, because they do give that really interesting story of how it came about and what's in the episode. Like, for example, they say there's this episode requires multiple viewings, because there's a scene in the comic book store with lots of meta references, which is really cool. So it's like the LEGO movie, where you'd want to see it again and again and again. They even touch on the LEGO movie, and showrunner Al Jean basically says that he didn't even know that there was going to be a LEGO movie while he was making this episode, and then it came along later, and they said that there is a reference to the LEGO movie in this episode, but it's really kind of vague. So I don't know if they meant that was a reference in the Lego movie with Milhouse, because they said, where was it? They said, but at the 11th hour, we did manage to sneak a little wink to the film. So maybe that is a reference in the episode. And that is really it for this for this issue of TV Guide. I really do like the coverage on the LEGO Simpsons stuff. All the other stuff does not interest me because I get all my TV news online. And there's also these two pictures that they didn't show in the magazine that kind of surfaced today. I found this one on Eurobricks, I believe. Amazing Bricks posted this. And it's basically just comic book guy. You could see how he looks in the episode, and he looks really kind of weird because not only does he not have like a little printing or a new piece for his shirt to make him look really obese, he has a really kind of flat face, and his hairpiece looks like kind of a bad CGI rendering, in my opinion. So that's kind of interesting. I do hope we get a comic book guy minifigure soon, but I don't know if we'll get one because it does require a new mold, and I don't foresee another LEGO Minifigures The Simpsons series. But here's hoping, and you can see right here, here's a picture of when Homer arrives, or I guess when the regular Homer arrives in this LEGO Springfield. And it kind of shows the background with the town hall, or I think it's the court. And you can see a better look at the LEGO Marge minifigure from the episode. And yeah, just kind of interesting. So it is a very kind of interesting issue of TV Guide, and even these pictures right here are really interesting. So I am going to see the episode. I am going to review it probably the day it airs. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe it'll be a little bit later because I am going to be on vacation that day, so I'll have to be reviewing it from the hotel or whatever. But we'll see how that goes. And that airs on May the 4th, which is next Sunday. So keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.